Story time. Okay, so when I was about 10, 11, 12, I can't remember the age, I'm so sorry. My mom ended up having some sort of a medical problem, medical issue or whatever, and had to be taken to the emergency room. So my stepdad at the time is the one who took her, and obviously they had to have someone come get me. So my mom calls my dad's mom, because her mom lives like 3 hours away, to come get me so I could stay at her house. So my grandmother, my Mimi, comes and picks me up, and I'm hanging out at her house, and she gets a call from my mom. My mom's like, hey, I'm getting admitted. I have to stay for a little while. Can you keep her? And my Mimi's like, yeah, no, yeah, not a problem. So she gets off the phone with her and is like, hey, your mom has to stay a little while in the hospital. She says she's fine, but she's got to stay. Tomorrow or the next day, we're going to go by your apartment because I'm a latchkey kid and I have my own key to my apartment. And we're gonna go get some clothes and stuff for you to hang out with and play, and so you have shit here. And I was like, okay, cool. So I can't remember if it was the very next day or the day after that, but my Mimi takes me over to the apartment. She's like, hey, run up, go get your stuff and come back down. And I was like, okay, cool. So I get in the apartment and I hear a TV, and that's weird because I'm looking over. This is a tiny ass apartment, right? I grew up low income. Like, you're in the living room, you're in the dining room area, like immediately in the apartment. There's a very small kitchen, there's a very, very short hallway, and two very tiny bedrooms, and then one bathroom over here. So, like, you know. So I look over into the living room and the TV's not on. And the only other TV in the house is actually in my room. The only reason that I have a TV in my room is because my mom's boyfriend before this husband, his parents were well off. And for one Christmas, they bought me my own TV because they didn't have a granddaughter. They had other grandchildren, but not a granddaughter. And they loved me. They spoiled me. They bought me lots of things. Anyway, I had a TV in my room. So I was like, fuck, did I leave the TV on? I'm getting my ass beat because I'm wasting electricity. So I go in my room, not thinking, because I think I left the TV on, right? Because I kind of like left in a hurry. And I go and I open the fucking door, and there's my mom and my stepdad butt ass naked in my fucking bed watching TV in my bedroom. Yeah. So what actually extra pissed me off, by the way, is that my mom is super anal about a clean room. And so this room is really, really tiny. And so I kind of would shove shit on my bed and my closet. My mom was like, no, you need to clean it. And so before all this happened, I had scooped everything from under my bed and out of my closet and placed it on my bed so I can clean it and go through it, right? But then all this happened and I had to leave. And so they took everything off my fucking bed, scraped it onto the floor. So my floor is covered, my room is trashed, just so they could bump fucking uglies and hang out in my room because it had a TV. Yeah, so if you didn't get that, my mom lied. She was never admitted to the hospital. She might have stayed the night, maybe, but she was never admitted to the hospital. I do think she went, but was never admitted. Came home, decided they wanted time away from me, which they could have probably just told my Mimi, and my Mimi would have been like, that's fine, whatever. But they chose to lie, and then obviously the gigantic fucked up thing is the fact that they were fucking in my bed and trash my room in the process. Which, by the way, they did not clean up when I came home. And they were super upset that I were there. They were like, why are you here? And I'm like, well, I need clothes and my stuff because I'm staying at my grandmother's house. Which, even though I stayed at her house a fuck ton because I didn't get along with my dad's girlfriend, which is another story for another time, so I should have more stuff there. I really didn't have anything, especially clothes. And around this time, I was actually growing like a weed. I'm 5'7", and I got all my height in middle school. So I needed current clothes. Yeah, they were upset that I had came back to the apartment for clothes. So yeah. A little tidbit to the story also. This stepdad, which is my first stepdad, they got married and didn't tell me. I actually had gone to my dad's house because they shared custody, obviously, and did every other weekend. And so it was my dad's weekend. I went to my dad's house for the weekend. Probably actually stayed at my grandmother's house. I can't really remember. I do remember coming home. I was sitting on the couch and my mom looks at me and was like, hey, what if Jay and I got married? And I was like, I guess that's fine. Like, we already lived together or whatever. She's like, cool, because we already did. We got married this past weekend. And we didn't tell you, invite you, or ask you. They didn't say that last part, but yeah. They didn't tell me, ask me, invite me, nothing. Anyway, that's my mom. Also, if you're wondering, we are no contact. So yeah.